Hi.
Hi.
I have Daryl and Zoe here from the movie Breaking Upwards, which I saw last night at your local LA premiere. You are doing something a little bit radical here. Did it really cost $15,000?
It really cost 15,000. Yeah, they printed the budget in Believer magazine,
Which is a McSweeney's.
the McSweeney's magazine, the line by line budget, and I think there's a line in that budget that shows our costume budget was $10 for a T-shirt I think we bought.
So basically, you went on locations that are your, friends and parents. Is that where you were shooting, basically?
Yeah, we shot in my apartment, my mom's apartment, my dad's apartment, my ex-boyfriend's mom's apartment.
Weird.
And so you kicked everybody out and put actors in to play your parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you got very good actors
Yeah.
to work for nothing,
They
basically?
worked for charity, yeah.
No, they
it
worked
was
for $100
$120 a day. Yeah.
This is the ultra low budget
That's right.
SAG
SAG.
ultra low budget agreement, yes.
And you guys worked for nothing.
Yes.
We worked for
And you did a
nothing.
lot of different jobs. You were the producer and the co-writer and the star, and you were the producer, the director, and the
Yeah,
co-writer.
director, co-producer.
star.
We co-wrote it with a third friend of ours, Peter Duchan, and Zoe catered some of it and wrote the lyrics to the soundtrack, and I was even first ADing at times. It was a group effort.
And you must have been exhausted. I mean, or were you shooting like constantly on schedule, or were you like intermittently shooting?
It was a really unconventional shooting schedule, so yeah, it was intermittent because all of our cast was in plays at the time, and the deal we struck with them was that we would just work around their schedules entirely. So whenever they said they could shoot, we would shoot. So some days, some weeks it was one day of shooting, and then I think just in the beginning of the shoot, some nights it was just Daryl and I and our DP and his girlfriend, who was a jewelry designer who was taught to pull focus for him because we
Never used a camera, like video
Yeah.
camera.
But we had film lenses on the HD cam, so she had to learn how to help him pull focus. But
I mean, the shooting schedule really mirrored the open relationship in real life, the days on, days off thing, because we were shooting, only a couple days a week, and then the rest of the week off, I was able to edit and kind of see what we had gotten to help us with what we were shooting the next week, and that lasted for about 45 days for like 3 months.
Now, when you studied at NYU,
Yeah, we
and
both
which
did.
is where I went to I studied there too, but cinema studies. I was not in production. Did you learn what you needed to know from that, or from all the work that you did on your own, growing up and fooling around, and how much did studying help you in this situation?
Well, Tisch School of the Arts helped us, I think, as actors, but as a filmmaker, I am self-taught just from growing up and playing around with cameras, and I taught myself how to use Final Cut Pro, and yeah, so it was just trial and error and watching a million movies was how I cut my teeth.
All right, so you're playing yourselves, and you've written a script, and you labored over the script.
We
You
did.
made sure it was good. How did you know when you were ready?
I think, we had three minds all thinking about the script, working on it for a year. After a certain amount of time, I think we realized it's in a good place. We cut out the repetition and made sure all of the character arcs were full and developed. So, yeah, I think you have a sense when it feels ready.
yeah. I
What-
think also because we were sort of casting people not in a normal casting process. We were doing direct offers, but also it was sort of sporadic, like the shooting schedule. So not everyone was cast at the start of the shoot, and so we also really looked through the script with a fine-tooth comb per character to make sure their arcs. Just like as actors, we knew that when you're handed a script, you want to know that your character in particular is three-dimensional and has a really fully formed arc. And so I think that also was helpful, just to think about it in those terms.
Also, it was a real point of ours to try and show these characters as thoughtful and articulate and seeking out answers, as opposed to being kind of 20-something meandering, which has become common among certain DIY films. So that was definitely a goal.
No, you can tell the difference. This is actually a great defense of screenwriting. to tell you the
Oh,
truth.
thank you.
I would suggest, because there are people who are good at, the Duplass brothers say, who are good at a certain kind of improvising that they do, but they do have a strong setup to
Yes.
start with.
Yeah, I think they have more of a base that's not as written as our work is, and then their actors kind of fill in the blanks. Our script was, I would say, 95% ish scripted, and the actors, the film and the actors could improvise if they wanted to certain lines.
So if you were to catalog some of the things that you don't like about other romantic comedies, assuming that's what this is, this is almost a documentary. It isn't, but it's based on so much of you and your own personal lives
Yeah.
that it takes on a different kind of genre in itself.
Yeah, the kind of hyper real, I don't know, meta modern type of romantic comedy. I don't think of it as a documentary in any way, even though it's loosely inspired by an open relationship. But the broad strokes of what we went through is what it's based on, but it's all fictionalized. And yeah,
Yeah, I think with other romantic comedies, I think our frustrations were lying in the fact that there was sort of a void which laid between super big budget tentpole romantic comedies and then the DIY filmmakers of our generation, and we felt that there was not so much a representation of like romantic comedies of yore, like Woody Allen's, Annie Hall or Manhattan, or films that felt genuine and raw and relatable, but you could also had a certain sense of levity and drama and a nice mixed bag. So
You got some laughs in here.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you also you got me teared up at the
Oh,
end.
That's good.
Yeah,
Well,
especially the last shot, actually.
Don't give it away. Don't give it
I
away.
won't.
But yeah, no, that genuine quality was something that we really fought for, to have it feel like it was a classical type of romantic comedy in a way, with the beginning, middle, and end, and a strong story structure and script, but have it feel fresh and genuine with, all the actors that we cast not being hugely recognizable and us not being hugely recognizable. So of course, it was interesting for us to explore reinterpreting our relationship in a fictional sense.